will now be recorded.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're running. All right, so let's start off with the payday.
I see that Randy Frank is on. Do you mind if we have?
An update.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know we have an agreement that he would like to have signed, and it has been approved by the county councilor. And it is to contract with a company that will, I think we talked about it the last time, but they will like clean the N95 masks for the healthcare providers.
Oh,
So,
yeah, refurbishing.
right. So Randy, did you wanna, is that, okay.
Yep.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Tina?
Yes.
Okay. The agreement that's been provided to you, you got there, is the World Health Organization. Are you getting an echo on here?
You just need to speak directly into whatever microphone. If you turn your head, then we can't hear you.
We will try this again.
Okay, that's better.
Okay. The agreement is through the Food and Drug Administration, which initiated this act, authorizing this group to come in and actually basically come out and clean up our N95 masks that our first responders and medical providers are using. It's a federal agreement that was brought out, I believe it was on March 29th. And the facility will not set up in Marion County. They'll be in Topeka. All the used masks will be shipped there and shipped back. For Marion County, be through, yes, they will do the cleaning, and there is zero cost to Marion County. This agreement just allows them to work as a vendor through our county.
Okay.
Randy, this is Dave. Is this the machine that Governor Kelly was talking about that the state acquired last week?
I'm not sure. This equipment has been online with the federal government and this company for several years. I'm not sure which equipment you're talking about.
Okay. Just something she said on the news one day, you know. It probably is just because there's only one in the state of Kansas.
Okay, so we would need to, I think the board would need to take action to approve the agreement and authorize the chairman to sign.
Make a motion to that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve Randy's proposal.
I'll second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Randy on.
Yeah, he's on.
Vote.
Randy Dalkey, can you hear?
Email that to me, that'd be great. Thank you.
Did he vote?
Randy Dalkey.
I haven't heard him yet.
Did we lose our?
He's turned off now.
The video's still working.
Yeah, Randy Dalkey, can you hear us?
There we go. How about now? Yes.
Okay, so we didn't get your vote.
Okay.
Did you vote?
Gotta have the mic on.
So did you hear what was going on with that agreement?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and did you have a vote to put in?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Randy.
Okay, and I think you just signed that one page, Jonah.
Yeah. Payday items or?
Sure.
Have total payroll.
Yeah, let's see, we had, sales tax, if that's okay to share that.
So Tina, I can't remember, how many months behind are we on the sales?
It's 2 months.
2 months, so
Mhm.
actually what we're seeing at 54,000 is maybe February's income tax?
I think
Food and
Uh,
basically February's
Oh,
revenue.
Right,
Okay,
sales.
sales tax, right.
yeah, well, that's kind of plummeting, aren't we? In February. I hate to see March and April coming up.
Can't see the
Okay.
numbers. Okay, so the sales tax, well, if you look at, compare it to
Last
the
year.
previous years, it's higher than the last 2 years for the same month.
Right, but if you
On
look
that
at our
one.
average on sales tax, you know, we have some months where we're making
February's a
60 and
short month,
50 and
it's
all that
winter
type of
time.
stuff, you know.
We had an extra
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay, so
That's
this,
right.
the
So,
sales.
excuse me, I was talking to Tina. Okay. I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear
I
you
was just
overall,
gonna
what
announce the
noise.
sales tax amount to the people on the meeting, so if
Mhm.
ever, if there are other comments, I'll wait until that's. Did you have anything else?
No, that's all I had. I was just commenting on the way we see the sales tax is dropping.
Okay,
And I wanted to make sure, I couldn't remember if it was 3 month or if it was
It's
2
2
months.
months. Mhm.
That's what I wanted to
Yep.
know.
okay, so the total sales tax is $54,399.49. Okay,
Actually, from a year ago, it's up $3,000.
Right. That was the point, trying to get across.
Yep.
and then we did have, a couple of invoices. One was, for Elcon Services in the amount of $204.13 for ballasts and bulbs. That will need separate approval, and then we have one for, Western Associates for Sheriff's Office jackets and embroidery for $563.89.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve Western Associates.
Second.
Okay,
Any other discussion?
I just have a question. Is Western Associates the only one in the county that does the embroidery? Are you the only business in this county that does embroidery?
There's people who have machines in their homes,
Yeah,
but yes, we are the only one. There's nobody in Hardin County either.
the only
And
business with liability
you have to go to
insurance.
Salina or Wichita to get it
Okay.
done.
Okay, that answered my question on that subject.
They're $100,000 machines, so there's not many of them around.
More
So-
information than I asked for, but thank you.
Anyway, any other discussion? All those in favor?
I'm
Aye.
gonna say aye for that
Aye.
reason.
Staying.
5-0, or,
Oh, yeah,
4-0.
you voted.
Three.
Four,
Yeah.
Four.
You voted.
abstaining.
right.
4 with 1 abstention, goes with the majority.
Okay,
And I make a motion to pay Elcon Electric $204.13.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion by Dave, second by Randy. Any other discussion?
And I don't think you are the only electrician in the county, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
No. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those abstaining? Aye. All those opposing?
Aye, I say that's a conflict.
okay. And then we have our, total payday, which is $1,563,444.01, which includes payroll at $524,078.93.
So make a motion to pay the grand total payday at 1,000,000, I gotta zoom that in.
163.
163.
563.
Aye.
$1,563,444.
Oh, 1,563,444.01.
I'll second it.
Second.
Second by Dave. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 5-0.
Okay. Randy, is it okay to use your stamp on the payroll?
Yes.
Since you were at the meeting, just so
Yes.
physically present, okay?
Yes. I do have a question on, risk management though, when we have time.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
I see we've purchased a bunch of computers. How many laptops and stuff do we purchase under risk management and what department?
there's multiple departments listed that have done it, and we're paying it out of there because when we get a FEMA reimbursement for any of these expenses, then that's where we would apply that reimbursement, so it's for tracking purposes. So you have
Okay.
computers for emergency management, county clerk's office, appraiser, I believe, maybe not appraiser, attorney, register of deeds, there's multiple to be able to do the, remote working. And
Okay.
the board did approve up to
That is-
$5,000 per department, so, on that.
Okay, that's the reason though that they're purchased is
Yes.
because they want to be able to do remote.
Yes,
Okay.
I had a couple of questions.
Okay. Go ahead, Ken.
Page 2, under courthouse, what was that Fisher Patterson Sailor or whatever service, professional service, WF? Page 2.
that would be some legal fees on the wind farm lawsuit. That's the county's portion. K-Camp and the county split that, and then we have a deductible also, so,
So does K-Camp contract with
yes.
this
Yes.
attorney firm? Okay,
Yes.
because I had, that's not a firm we normally see.
Yeah, K-Camp, decides what legal firm to use for
Okay.
all of these legal, the lawsuits. Did you have another question?
I had another one on page 6, I believe it was.
It's quite the total.
Let's see. Oh, it was on that question in regards to 911. Page 6, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 36,600. Kansas 911 Coordinating Councils, that's an annual service fee.
Mm-hmm,
Well, that's a chunk of change, isn't it?
yes, it is.
To maintain 911.
There are a lot, and they are doing a bunch of different upgrades there as well. They're having to go to some different types of capabilities, so.
Is that by population?
I don't know how that's figured, I'm sorry.
And so I do have a question also, and I'm looking at the rock and the trucking, that we spent, and, unless it was last month, and I'll have to go back and look and see, but it looks to me like we're still buying rock just from back to kind of the same old.
I can grab the road and bridge voucher board if you wanna look at it.
That would be
What
fine.
page are you on?
I am on 21 and, oh, I'm sorry, 20 and 21.
Okay, let me see if I can get there real quick.
So what I'm looking at, you have Harsherman Construction is where we bought, if I added that up correctly, in the rough here, close to $200,000 that we purchased just from Harsherman. We did buy 27,000 from Ham, give or take a couple dollars. And then if we look at our trucking, we have the same trucking people, Everett's, JL Unruh, $21,000, Robinson. So I don't see where we made any changes at all in any of our
I would-
protocol.
I can get that voucher board for you. I
Okay.
would say that a lot of these invoices are probably prior to changes being made, but with the stopping of the hauling, but I haven't looked at it specifically.
Oh,
So they're somewhat by, in alphabetical order by vendor on the board. And you can see, it should have a date on them.
It's a ready brush purchase, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, take me a little bit of time to go through some of that, but thank you,
You're
I'll
welcome.
look at that then. And that's all the comments that I have.
We would. Everybody will just see that. Call it time. I don't see any public comments. If you're ready to go on. I don't see any, any been put in.
No.
Okay. Well, that'll conclude the public comments. Now we'll move on to the commission comments. Anybody else have anything to?
I had a question of, last week we were talking about, we moved a piece of equipment from one department to the other department. Do we ever put out a memo to all departments to list a surplus equipment and accessories that maybe some other department could use, or else we need to get rid of and sell them? I know, like, you know, the trash depot now has an extra truck that I know of, because they got a new one and never got rid of the oldest one, as far as I know.
I think in the past, there has been some coordination, you know, if somebody had a piece of equipment that could be utilized in another department, they did, otherwise they just put it on Purple Wave or whatever.
I mean, we made a list, so everybody could look and say, hey, I could
Yeah,
use that two-wheel card, or,
yeah.
Yeah.
Most generally, we don't have a lot of excess equipment. If we do have a department that has something that they don't need anymore, like a piece of furniture, or generally it's like, furniture or printers that have been replaced, things like that. And we do send that information out to the different departments to, sometimes it's like ink cartridges because they've made a change. So we send that out to departments and see if anybody has any interest in those before we sell them. But it's not very common for us to have large pieces of equipment and vehicles.
yeah.
And a lot of times, you know, in the past, if the sheriff is getting rid of a vehicle, you know, maybe Park or Road and Bridge might take that on, if they need it. So we do that, but I've never done an official like memo type list, cause it's not that common. Or hasn't been,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the departments themselves each keep their own inventory
Mm-hmm,
that they have to verify. Was it annually?
right.
Yeah, they got something sitting for a year they haven't used, forgot about it.
Yeah, happens.
Kinda like a blue bus, I don't know what happened to it.
It's across the,
Somebody did something here.
They're painting lines over here, so. Yeah.
We talked about selling it, but never had moved forward on it.
We were talking about.
well, you talked about offering it to, nonprofits,
Yeah.
and I have not got the ad in the paper to do that, so.
Okay.
I knew it was still on the docket, that's why it was parked over here.
Yeah.
It's a constant
At
reminder.
least it started.
Yeah.
I did just think of one other thing. I would just like to remind the commission, I noticed that we paid the connecting links, on this, payday. And I was looking at some of the amounts, and it just seems to me as though as a commission, we need to probably start looking at some of those connected links, cause I think they date way back, those numbers, and I think we're not doing any justice to our cities. I think we really need to reevaluate those. Just something to think about and put on our list of things to do.
That's a good point.
That's all I had.
Has everybody had a chance to, look at the transfer station project? I know Dave has, because Dave and I had a couple another down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've stopped in there a few times, so. But I don't, I'm really wondering on whether or not we should, entertain a price for a watershed over the ramps. Just, keep water from going down in the pit.
that wasn't addressed in the engineering.
The walls, the stem walls are reinforced and structured enough to carry a load, but there is no canopy per se over the top. It would just shed the water from having nowhere else to go but go into the pit.
I thought that was something we was getting away from with the old one.
No, there's a submersible and a sand oil separator, and it is only maxed out because it has to do with filter property. It can only pump so fast, so any water mitigation that we could do would help that pump out. Just don't know if that would be anybody else's wishes, just to see what that would add costs, what that would be.
Probably should wait until we get done to see what more surprises we find on the other side.
Right.
Well, I think you're gonna have a surprise as soon as you dig dirt on the other side.
Yeah, well, it's not much of a surprise anymore, we already know it's there,
Yeah, but
it's
we
everywhere.
don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah. One comment I might make that, we saw the governor's extension on some of the disaster declarations. And so now the recycling, I believe, we have to continue to do the recycling till, I think it was at least mid-May. I passed the truck going west this morning, so they must have been taking a load of recycling to Hutch.
And then tonight at 6:30, will be the governor's address, and so just about, her recommendations for reopening.
Is that on all local channels?
It just says on live television, so I'm not, in radio, so I don't know which ones for sure. And she will have it live on, her Facebook. So, that would be something that you might want to, be aware of.
As far as we still have a meeting on Monday, so everything will carry through for us. Through Monday until after our meeting.
Now, you do have the lake order that expires today, and I believe Isaac is on the meeting, but I did have we did have a department head meeting yesterday just to talk about potential needs or thoughts for reopening and what we might need in the offices and potential, how we would make that all work. But Isaac's, since his order is up today, he may have some specific kind of questions for the board as far as certain things. He said he has been doing business with the public through his sliding window, so they don't actually have to come in the office, which I think is great. He may need to have some signage about social distancing and those kind of things, and the amount of people that can be in line or in certain spaces at a time, but I don't think we know what all of that looks like until we have the governor's information either, so.
So, I mean, even if the order for the lake expires, the governor's mass gatherings still is in effect until May 4th. So you can still implement
Sunday night,
those.
I think.
It expires midnight, May 3rd, so it's May 4th. I believe.
Yeah, 11:59 PM on May 3rd, I believe, is when it expires. And then
So-
our closure includes the 4th, which is Monday.
So would he be more comfortable if we extended it till the 4th?
Well, he's on it. Isaac, can you hear what's being said?
yes, I can.
Okay. Do you have any comments or suggestions to bring forward on your end of this?
You know, Jonah, I really don't. We've just been kind of going with the way things have, you know, yesterday, like Tina said, we had our department head. The main things that I guess I had questions on, and like you said, there's just a lot. I don't know what the governor plans on doing, but, you know, if the group size and stuff stays down, my only real concerns are if the campgrounds were to get packed. That would be an issue, and then not so right now, but the swimming area is another thing that kind of raises some questions with me as far as, you know, moving forward into the month of May when things start getting warmer. And then the only other thing was the lake hall. You know, if the group size stayed to 10 or 50 or whatever the case may be. But as far as like fishing and all that goes, most people that are out here have been separated or on a boat with like 1 or 2 people, and that's been about it. That being said, if once the out of county orders lifted, you know, I know things are going to change and a lot more people are going to start coming out here, but we can deal with that as it comes.
As long as we can stick with the mass gatherings and try to abide by the rules that are in effect till the 4th, and you don't see a problem with that, I'm okay with letting this thing expire.
Me too. With this weather getting warm like it is, people are gonna go boating, and if we don't want them to boat and participate in Marion County, they're gonna go to another place. And then they'll learn that it's nice and that, you know, people are creatures of habit, and that's what they'll do. And so I'm always said I'm very concerned about the economy of Marion County. You know, we've already directed with a lot of these impositions and restrictions the government imposed upon us and directed people to purchase and do their business elsewhere.
I mean, my thoughts come from what I always think government should be doing, and it is basically to either stimulate something, get it off the ground, or restrict something to get people to slow down and look at, but not to stay in it forever. And so that's where my decision is coming from. It's trying to stay to my core right there.
And honestly, I believe too, we've kind of, and I know that this could be very serious, but I mean, we're kind of on the downhill slide, and I think people are very well aware of what's going on, and it's up to them now to take personal responsibility for their health. I mean, we can't mother them forever. And we need to stop. I'm thinking.
Yeah, we slowed them down to get them to actually take it seriously, that we
Right.
weren't invincible here in Kansas.
Right, and so we've done our part as far as I'm concerned, and now I think we need to start supporting our businesses so that they can survive.
Anybody else have any?
Well, yeah, I would agree with what Diane's saying. In Isaac's instance out there, you know, I think the 3 things that maybe he'll need to be a little bit concerned about was what he brought up, the beach. Are you gonna allow more than a 24-person gathering out there? Same with the hall.
They would have to.
And, you know, when it comes to camping, maybe open up the grounds to where you know that the campers aren't right on top of each other. I guess that would mean that some camping spots would be open and maybe some wouldn't.
Isaac, did you say something about potentially wanting to maybe wait to start camping until Monday? Because of the utilities or something?
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think to try to get an idea too of what the governor's order did when it comes out. But yeah, I can tell you right now, I've had calls all week from people asking if we we're gonna open the campgrounds up this week. We haven't turned the walk our main campground yet. Due to it just being closed, our campground over on the first cove and the second cove, those are up and running. But our main campground here isn't. All it would take is a call to come up. I was just curious, or as what the governor's order was, and like Kent said, I thought about maybe if we did every other camp spot or something like that. It was something that concerning because we have gotten a lot of calls this week about people wanting to come out and camp, and I just didn't want to get overran this first weekend.
Well, I think I think the commission would be supportive of you, in your ideas, especially as far as the camping goes and leaving the slots, so. From my point of view, we would follow what you kind of recommend.
Yeah, I would see it as, that's part of your job responsibility in this time is to mitigate and stay on top of the situation. So if you have to close every other spot, that's just something you gotta do to stay in compliance. I don't know that we need a directive or an order. I think it's we leave it up to our department head to make the call and try to abide by the rules put on us by Topeka.
Okay, that works.
Does that work for you, Isaac?
I think he said it did.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's good.
Okay.
Are there any other items to discuss?
Mike Powers, the judge.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, yes. Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead and let him. All right, Randy.
I'd like to go back to trash and recycling.
Okay.
What does the governor's order say that we have to do what with? I mean, this is something we're not required to do. It is our choice. We're more required to spray weeds than we are to do recycling. And
Randy, this Kent, under that governor's mandate, if you were providing recycling, you're required to continue it. So I think our hands are tied on that until that mandate goes off.
okay, I missed that part. I need to go back and read it again. I missed that part where it says that about recycling period. And
Yeah, I think if you
wanted
the way I read that, if you were providing it, you have to continue it until the mandate's in.
Correct. And the other day when this issue come up, Dave looked it up and showed it to Brad, and Brad verified that yes, that is the way it reads.
Okay.
So
But it's something to think about once that mandate's off.
Say the south instead of west. Yeah, I was questioned Mike Powers' letter for the court for Wednesday, and the council didn't have to do anything,
no,
that
that's them. They're all.
you'll have to supply people for the doors.
Yeah, depending on what we do with the building.
Yeah.
Will kind of dictate what they do with court. And so they have some specific things that they're already planning, but they're having some hearings and different things today, and they're just escorting the people in. They will have specific rules on how many people can be in, and they're handling all of that, so.
The place where we were before we locked up the courthouse.
Mhm.
That was basically not quite locking it up, it was by appointment only, right?
Right. The most recent thing we did before we stopped allowing the public in the building was we had the outside doors locked, but they were able to call for an appointment with the health screening And then we were going and letting them in, for those appointments. And then prior to that, we had the outside doors open, but the individual offices shut, and they had to make contact to be able to come in. So we've done it in several phases to get where we are today. There are things we need to probably have in place, like, for instance, additional cleaning once the public is ready to come back in, and touch all the surfaces again. Of course, we have the sneeze guards that are being taken care of to help mitigate a little bit. And we did get the 500 masks. It's just a matter of, if we're gonna require, or, employees and or the public to wear those while they're in the building. Those are things that don't have to be decided today, but if you do a phased kind of reopening of the county offices, those could be some potential phases.
That's where I was going with that. Our stay goes till May 4th, but we should analyze it on a week-by-week basis, but only back it up the way we went in. That's my thought. So the first step in my mind would be to go back one step and do it by appointment only, and then see how that goes for a while, and then make another call to go back to where they're allowed in the building, but the doors are shut. Just reverse the way we got into it.
Did they give you any idea, Tina, when they thought they'd start installing those sneeze guards?
Well, they're building the portable ones, in their shop.
Right.
And, they did think that they might have those done, early next week. And, I think they're gonna try to come in over the weekend and work in the treasurer's office to get that taken care of. So I'm thinking that they'll be ready, early next week.
Who's building that?
Chris Sprouse Construction. Or,
Sprouse?
yes,
Sprouse.
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 They did the windows and everything in the courthouse.
So, he mentioned a letter from Judge Powers. Was that in our packet? Because obviously I overlooked it.
Got emailed.
Must be on your county email.
Okay, so then that's why I didn't get it.
I didn't get anything from them.
You didn't
I didn't see, I wasn't really noticing who all he sent it to. I just saw that I had something, I glanced at
A
it.
couple days ago.
So,
So you and I are on the outs, huh?
Tina,
yes,
if any of your department heads come in looking for some other offices come in for looking to do something with what Kent was talking about, the face shields and splatter shields and things, I just was into what Johnson's of Florence, and they simply took a piece of plexiglass, hung it from the ceiling with some chains or some light chains, real light stuff, but it was like 4x6 area. It really then got a little, left it up off of the top of the counter about 4 inches or 5 to pass through. Very simple design to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. And so if you have other offices come in, I'd sure like them to take a look at something like that. It's very simple, I think we can do it very, very reasonable and accomplish what we want to do for it until we get something permanent decided. So,
okay.
just for your heads up, what it is.
That only apply to outside the courthouse, right? There'd be only other offices
I
left.
can't
right?
hear you.
I said that would only apply to everything outside of the courthouse, because I think we've already approved to take care of.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we have any
Outside
more
departments,
requests.
if they need some protection.
Yes.
So that doesn't, you're not saying anything in the courthouse, Randy?
Well, there may be some that we would
If we
wanna
miss
add or
somebody.
do something different, so. Okay. Do you think that would be able to be supported by a drop ceiling? Because that's what we have.
I think it is down there. I believe it is down there. That's why I was very interested in it when I looked at it.
Yeah, I would suppose that the chains would keep it balanced as long as it was supported underneath somehow, so that the gravity was keeping it.
They're just hanging.
Are they?
Yeah, I've seen a couple different places now, they've taken rope and
Yeah.
That's what it's saying, I mean, well, wind doesn't blow someday, you know.
They must be tying it to the
You
grid
know, they're
wire.
kind of to the, they
Right,
got
but
more
there's,
faith in the
Yes.
grids than I do.
but there's
Yeah.
there's a grid wire above there.
Yeah, no, they.
So they must be tying it at that point,
Yeah.
though,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
But it was very effective, kept the clerks from, you could look right at them, but you couldn't, there was no way, I mean, of just to do what the splatter part of it, it was doing a very good job down there, and they meet people coming in every day, you know, quite a bit, a few people, so it was
Good old
very nice looking,
Thank you.
human ingenuity.
yeah.
I don't know that anything else that needs to be brought up today, just thoughts moving forward, so we're not, okay, you know, it's Monday and we gotta make a decision, you know, just, that's where I was going with my thoughts.
Well, I do wanna mention, we are having a little bit of trouble right now getting, we have been having trouble getting hand sanitizer, we have been having trouble getting like, cleaning wipes for individual departments to clean in their own areas when you have staff touching things. So those supplies are really hard to come by, even disinfectant spray. And so we are working with Randy Frank to try to get some more of those, and I think we have some for the custodians to use in the public areas, like where the people touch the handrails and things like that, and the doors, but as far as in the individual offices, we are having a little bit of a difficulty in getting the supplies to be able to take care of that inter-office type cleaning, so.
I noticed when I was at some of the stores and stuff, they have, spray bottles that they mix themselves with either bleach and water. There's lots of bleach everywhere. Or I even seen some of the other disinfectants like Mr. Clean and different things like that, the ones that are antibacterial and stuff that are also help for disinfectant and stuff. I mean, if you have to go to something like that.
We may be able to do like a bleach solution, but sometimes the spray bottles are hard to find now as well. You're having trouble finding containers and spray bottles.
You wanna go to the farm and ranches, they sell a lot of that farm and ranches, I buy them there all the time. But I don't know if other people are doing that too, but I'm just saying it's another.
Container service makes spray bottles?
No.
They might make the bottle, but I don't
They
think.
don't
You
make-
should know.
They don't make spray bottles, I don't believe.
Yeah, and if they had something, they wouldn't make the applicator.
They don't have the tops, there's lots of bottles, but there's no plunger tops
Yeah.
available
Right.
anywhere in the United States. Because we could've done more bottles, but we didn't have any.
Yeah,
the
it's really
tops.
tricky to get them, but I may look at some of the, like you said.
Ranch, yeah, they have, cause people spray horses, you know, all kinds of things for flies and things like that, and they have all kinds of, they did when I was there a couple, I don't know, a week or so, 2 weeks ago maybe.
Blue Stem and Emporia sells them all that.
Does it have to do with the janitorial company, or where do you get your cleaning supplies from? This local store?
No, well, we do get some, I mean, we have a company that we get some supplies
Yeah.
through, but like the supplemental supplies that we've been using, we've just been trying to find locally. And even branching out to some of the bigger cities around us in different counties to look, and it's been really hard to find.
And I do have quite a few of them, so if you are in a pinch, I can have brand new ones.
Of spray bottles?
Yeah, I can donate some if you can't.
Okay.
Got a backpack sprayer with that,
I got a sprayer that goes on the back of the T-Rex and sprays weeds. That really gets some work done.
Yeah.
10-foot boom on the back of it too. So, I don't know, I'm short and sweet, but I don't know if anything else needs to be discussed. I'm just wanting to make sure,
yeah.
you know, Monday is coming and
We'll know.
we'll have to do something. What that is. So,
I know there's been a few
Yeah,
counties,
send it
there's
back
been
Friday.
a few counties that have sent letters to the governor requesting a non-extension of the stay-at-home order.
It expires
Huh?
tomorrow night, doesn't it?
What?
Didn't that expire tomorrow night?
No, it would also expire.
Same.
Sunday?
Sunday at midnight.
Yeah, I think all of it is, she's going to have to extend some things, as far as the mass gatherings and stuff like that, but, we'll see, we'll see. Well, right now, we can speculate and try to predict what's gonna happen and make the best move for it.
There's gotta be a way for these small businesses to, but you know, it's amazing to me how innovative some of these places have become. Last Friday night, the cafe in Durham did barbecue, drive-through barbecue.
I seen the pictures.
It would serve 348 meals. People were backed up on Highway 15 on the sides, waiting to get in.
They didn't have food, huh?
They did, just about did, but
Yeah.
he's cooking early this week.
If you weren't in Durham to get something to eat, you would have probably been a little bit aggravated, because it was a traffic jam.
But, you know,
It's a nice night, what else you got to do?
it's really, you know, kind of heartwarming to see how people have adapted to try to make a living.
Survival is something you gotta do.
Yeah, down at the wagon wheel, there's always a line at the drive-up window in mealtime.
Yeah, you can look around everywhere, you can see how impressed you should be with the Marion County, what they're doing.
The Topper guy's doing landside business up there. It's parking lot's full of day at noon.
I know that the Coneberg, I've seen them, they've run out of food over and over and over, and they're doing deliveries, so.
Yes.
It's impressive to watch human ingenuity. So.
Which we can do till Monday.
Okay, well, I guess I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
That is second by Kent. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.